Good morning from a very hot and sticky Saigon here in Vietnam.
We're last seen somewhere, and today, in this video, we're going to show you some of the best things to see and do in this crazy, chaotic city.
So we thought we'd start here at Saigon Central Post Office, and it's one of the oldest and most iconic buildings here in the city of Saigon.
Yeah, and it was built in the late 19th century, and it was actually designed by a chap called Alfred Volholtz. I can't pronounce his name, but not Gustav Eiffel, who designed the Eiffel Tower, as many people believe. But it is a perfect example of the French colonial style buildings that you'll see in Saigon. There are so many beautiful buildings here, it's lovely. So as soon as you step inside the Saigon Central Post Office, you'll notice how beautiful and decorative it is. It's got lovely tiles on the floor, it's got a very ornate ceiling. Considering how old the building is, they've kept it together really well inside.
Yeah, it's been fantastically maintained, it really has. It's incredibly busy because it's one of the top tourist attractions here in the city. And it's still a working post office as well. There's people posting letters and postcards. And it's full of tourist shops as well, I will say.
Yeah, lots of souvenirs.
Yeah, lots.
But it is lovely inside. It's a nice little place to come and sit.
Yeah, it's a great place to visit, this one, it really is. Should definitely be on your list. Right next door to Saigon Central Post Office is Book Street here in Saigon, and it's a lovely little street just full of bookshops and cafes, and there are people sat down reading books and chilling out. It's a lovely, quiet area right in the heart of this busy city. I absolutely love it, it's fantastic. So right across the street from Saigon Central Post Office is Notre Cathedral, and unfortunately it's under construction at the moment.
Yeah, we're a little bit gutted because not only can we not go inside because it's closed, but we can't show the outside either because, as you can see behind us, it's covered in scaffolding.
Yeah, and it's a real shame too. The last time we visited Saigon, we thought it was a fantastic building, didn't we? It was beautiful.
It's another French colonial building, and it was built in the 1800s, so a very old building as well. But yeah, so we can't show you, but hopefully when you come, it'll be open, you can see inside and the outside.
Yeah.
So at one end of Nguyen Hue, which I'm probably pronouncing terrible, so I'm sorry, you have City Hall, and it's the absolutely fantastic yellow building behind me.
Officially, it's called Ho Chi Minh City's People's Committee's head office. You have no idea how many times I've had to remember to say that.
Yeah, and it was built in the early 1900s, I think, in the French colonial style. As you can see, it's absolutely beautiful.
It's a beautiful building, isn't it? And on a night, they light it up because it looks phenomenal at night. It really does.
It's beautiful. Unfortunately, you can't go inside, it's not open to the public. But yeah, really nice building to just look at. It's fantastic.
So right opposite City Hall, there's a statue of the big man himself, Ho Chi Minh.
Yeah, it looks like a bronze statue, not sure if it is, but it's a very popular statue because everybody's having their picture taken with it.
Yeah, the whole time we've been stood here, people have been walking up and posing for photos.
If you turn left off Nguyen Hue at the roundabout, you'll come to the Saigon Opera House.
So Saigon Opera House is yet another fantastically impressive French colonial building here in Saigon.
Yeah, it was built in 1900 and it's quite small. It seats 500 people, and it's actually a smaller version of the Hanoi Opera House.
It looks like they've got a special event on this evening, because they've got the red carpet outside, and they do shows daily, matinees and night performances. Though when you look online at the prices, they can be quite expensive. So a real quirky thing here on Nguyen Hue is the cafe apartment building.
Yeah, and it's the building that you can see behind us. It's a little bit old and dilapidated, but it's full of loads of cafes, boutiques, little sort of beauty shops. It's meant to be really quirky inside. I'm really excited to go in.
Yeah, me too. This is a really unique experience here on Nguyen Hue.
So we're just about to go in now, and if you didn't know, it's a bit of a hidden entrance. So it's like a bike parking lot. It's got a blue sign above the door. I'll show you the way in now. Once you get inside the cafe apartments, it's over 9 floors, so there's lots of stairs, but then with lots of little cafes leading up the alleyways. You can catch the lift up, but it's much more fun if you use the stairs and you can explore it easier, although it is quite exhausting.
So we've popped into this beautiful little French style cafe here in the apartment building, and it's called Saigon Water Bus, and I've gone for a caramel coffee and Dorinda's gone for a peach iced tea. We picked this one because we'd seen online that it has great views of Nguyen Hue going on all below you, and it really does. This is a fantastic place to sit.
And we've also got cake. So we're here at Ben Thanh Market.
Yeah, I keep going to call it Ben Thanh Market.
So do I. But yeah, so it's an indoor market. I think it's the largest market in the city. It's a little bit of a tourist attraction, I will say. So I think it's a bit more expensive in there. But they're meant to get over 10,000 visitors a day inside, so...
Yeah, that's a lot of visitors.
But yeah, I think it's good to have a look at because it's quite an iconic place in the city, so yeah.
Yeah, thought we'd check it out.
Yeah. So it's a massive market in here and very, very busy. There's lots of people walking around and they seem to sell everything in here, from clothes, shoes, bags, food, coffee, everything you can think of, fruit. So yeah, it is a massive, massive market.
So our next stop today is here at the Independence Palace.
And you need a ticket to get in this place, so we're going to head to the ticket office now.
So we've got our tickets and now we're in the grounds of the Independence Palace. There was quite a few choices of ticket prices, but we've gone for the 65,000, sort of more of a basic one.
Yeah, there was about 4 or 5 different tickets you could get, ranging from walking around on your own to kind of being taken around an electric car tour. So like Matthew said, we went for a basic one.
So the Independence Palace was the home and workplace of the President of the Republic of Vietnam, and it was also the main base of operations during the war.
It was also the site where the war ended. So on the 30th of April 1975, a North Vietnamese tank crashed through the gates, ending the war, and the president actually fled and his family.
So now we're at the Remnants Museum here in Saigon, and the minute we set foot in there we knew it was a place that you really just couldn't film inside. It's quite a harrowing experience, to be honest with you, and it really does depict the horrors of war.
Yeah, it's quite graphic in there. I mean, it does tell you a little history about the war and about Vietnam, but yeah, we just didn't feel like we could film it.
An experience you should see, but you know, don't expect a pleasant experience. It's quite harrowing, like I said. So now we're at the Jade Emperor Pagoda here in Saigon. It's really, really busy.
But I think that's because May 2016, Barack Obama visited this temple. So I think it's just made it famous for people who's on everybody's radar.
Yeah, it's definitely put it sort of more in the highlight here in the city, and a place people do tend to come and visit now.
Yeah.
That temple was surprisingly a lot larger on the inside than it looked from the outside.
Yeah, I said it was quite a small pagoda, but actually it was lots of little rooms, little corridors, you could go upstairs. It was massive in there.
It was beautiful inside as well. It was so ornate and decorative. It was lovely.
It was gorgeous, yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. So this is Bui Vien Street here in Saigon, and it's the party street, and it is so loud on the night we came down here last night, and my watch kept going off and telling me that it was too loud for my ears, and I've never had that anywhere before. It's mad, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is a good party street, but it's a deafening party street.
Because it really is a great street. It's so loud and lively. So we're at the Bitexco Tower now, here in Saigon, and this is my favourite building in Saigon. If I'm being absolutely 100% honest, it's probably my favourite building in the world. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. It looks just like Stark Tower from the Avengers. It's brilliant.
It used to be the tallest building in Vietnam when it was built in 2010, because it stands at 861 feet. But then it got beaten by a building in Hanoi, so it's not obviously the tallest building now.
But it looms large over the city skyscape, and it just looks fantastic. I genuinely do adore this building.
You can see it from all over the city.
Yeah, you really can. We've been getting ourselves around, and we've been using Vinasun taxis, as the first time we come to Saigon we were told always use Vinasun as they're so safe and reliable, and our hotel, whenever we call one, it's always a Vinasun cab that pulls up, and we've never had an ounce of trouble. They've always been reliable and absolutely brilliant getting you around the city. All you got to do is stick your hand up on the street, they pull over, in you get, tell them where you want to go, and they're great, absolutely brilliant.
So now we're at the Tran Temple, and it's a Vietnamese style temple.
Trung Hung Dao was a warrior hundreds of years ago, and he defeated the Mongols, and they adore him here in Vietnam. There's statues to him everywhere.
Yeah, and this temple is more of a memorial to him, and on the 20th day of the 8th month of the Lunar New Year, all the Vietnamese come here and they celebrate him.
This is a really beautiful temple. Lovely, absolutely fantastic.
Very well maintained, and they've got an amazing koi pond over there we just looked at. It's lovely here. So just come out of the temple, and it was absolutely gorgeous in there.
It was beautiful again, absolutely beautiful.
It was very opulent, there was lots of gold and red in there. But yeah, it was just, I think the smallest we've seen so far, isn't it?
It is the smallest we've seen.
But yeah, really, really nice in there.
So now we're at Turtle Lake, and well, basically it's just a roundabout here in Saigon, but on a night it completely and utterly comes alive. It's incredibly popular with the youngsters, and it's covered in street food, and they're just basically chilling out and having a great time with their friends.
So like Matthew said, it is a roundabout, but it's also a lake, and they've built like a funny giant concrete structure of the lake, and they walk over it, they sit on it, they chill on it. It's just a really quirky thing to see. So while we're having our coffee, we noticed that we do banh mi, and we wanted to try a banh mi. It's known in Saigon or Vietnam. It's like a sandwich. It's in a lovely crusty bread roll, and we've got grilled pork ones. And you get pork, and you get, I think you're meant to have pate in it, and you get sort of vegetables and coriander, and it looks lovely. So I'm going to try it now. That bread is so light, it's lovely. The meat is tasty as well. Really nice.
So we're now at Veitnam Water Bus station, and we're going to buy some tickets for later on this evening so we can experience the ride up the Saigon River at night and see the views. It's supposed to be beautiful.
So the Saigon Water Bus is actually used for public transport to get people around the city. But on a night, you can get on and it only goes to 2 stops instead of 11. So I think it's about a quarter of an hour trip up the river, you get off the quarter of an hour and then you get back on. So when you stop at Veitnam, you get an amazing viewpoint of Landmark 81, so really good photo opportunity.
The Landmark 81 is such an impressive building. It's a fantastic skyscraper, it really is. And it's the biggest building in Vietnam. That was an absolutely fantastic trip going up the river on that boat. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
It was so cool to see the city from another vantage point, all lit up. It looked so pretty, it was lovely.
Another really cool thing here in Saigon is to visit Nguyen Hue at night. It really comes alive. It has street food, it has people doing street performances, singing, skateboarding, people walking their dogs, there's even people walking their cats. Yeah, that actually did really happen, but it's a really cool place to see on a night. It's just so full of life. So our last stop today is here at Dinh Church, which is the Church of the Sacred Heart of Jesus.
Yeah, and it's a really quirky one because as you can see, it's bright pink.
I'd say it might be my man eyes, but I say it's more apricot.
No, I think it looks amazing. It looks so lovely, and it's actually a Catholic church, and it's built in the Roman style, but it is actually the second largest in the city after Notre.
It's really popular as well. There's been people stopping and having their photographs taken out of it the whole time we've been here, so this is quite a popular one with tourists.
It's a good for Instagram pictures, I think. Good one for that.
But we're not going to be able to get inside because the doors are shut and it sounds like they're having some sort of hymn practice, so that's a bit of a shame.
Yeah, so again, we looked online and this place is meant to be open at the moment. And it's such a shame because it's meant to be bright pink inside as well.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really pink inside, but maybe it's just because they're practicing, we don't know.
So we hope this video has given you an insight in some of the best things to do in this crazy, chaotic city.
Yeah, it barely scratches the surface, this video. There is so much to see and do in this amazing city, there really is. Relaxing somewhere. Thanks for watching.
And don't forget to check out our channel, check out our other videos, and give us a subscribe.